Hey, I'm Jess Hugo, personal trainer and nutritionist, and I am here to show you that life is messy, but we're doing it anyway. Welcome to Doing It Anyway, the podcast for building the life that you want without burning out. Let's get into it. Lilly Moussa, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
I'm excited to be here.
So excited.
Okay, I didn't give her any context, by the way. Just throwing it straight at you. Give me one word right now to describe your season of life. Just one word, no context.
I think chaotic.
The last person I had on literally said the exact same thing.
Okay, maybe we'll change it then to like growth.
No. You can have chaotic. Okay. Go straight in for me. Give me some context, some background to why everything is chaotic. I don't want to do a whole behind the scenes of your journey, but I just want to hear. I want to hear a bit.
Okay, at the moment, it's just chaotic. I think so many things are happening. Everyone's obviously back and in full swing business-wise. Mm-hmm. So I'm kind of in the growth stage of trying to build my business / also trying to work out my own, I guess, what I want to do at the same time. So I've got a few, I guess, clients. We'll delve into this a little bit more.
Yeah.
But a few clients that I'm working across, and it's just, it's been a lot.
Have you heard that like March is the new January? Like March and February, January and February is like out the window. We did shit with her. And then March is like the hitting the ground running.
Literally.
Talk us through what you're currently doing for work. Give us the background of what's been happening.
So I'm currently a freelance social media and content strategist. So kind of that entails all things social media management, content strategy, filming, editing, all those good things. So like just think anything that you see on social is basically what I'm doing.
And is that something that you're always like, I want to get into, or take me back to school? When you're in year 12, did you do year 12?
Yes.
Okay, I was like, I'm just making assumptions. When you're in year 12, were you like, I'm doing social media, I'm going to uni, like where were you at with that?
So I really actually didn't want to even be in high school in year 12. My mum was like, you've got 3 months left, just see it out. So I kind of did. Obviously skipped a few classes.
Okay, did you go the ATAR route or not ATAR?
I went the ATAR route.
Oh God, she was forcing.
I was blackmailed. But yeah, went the ATAR route and didn't really fully know what I wanted to do. Obviously a careers advisor at school was like, I think you'd be great as a nurse or like an aged care worker. I'm like, yeah, I love looking after people and I have that, I guess, kind of personality, but it's not my favorite thing and I don't want to be around old people. In that way.
I think like, careers advisors as well, like they're just filling a quota. They're like, we know we need more nurses, so we're just going to push them into nursing.
I think just sickness, like in me, like for each other.
Yeah.
So I didn't really fully know what I wanted to do. I obviously loved watching, all the rom-coms growing up as well, seeing girls in like magazines, working in journalism and marketing and everything like that. And I was like, that sounds really fun. And I didn't really know what that would look like. So finished high school and then went to uni, was there for 2 weeks and I was like, this
Studying
sucks.
what?
A Bachelor of Communications.
Okay.
I was like, this actually sucks.
What is communications? It's like journalism, right?
So a mix of journalism, marketing, you do some finance in there as well.
Yeah.
And then PR as well.
Okay.
So
Loaded.
That's kind of, I guess, the realm that I wanted to be in. Yeah, was there for 2 weeks, figured out this actually sucks. It's like being in school with actually no help. And it wasn't, I guess, what I wanted to do. I was like, I don't want to spend 3 years studying this course and then finding out that I actually hate it.
Yeah.
So kind of deviated from that, found a fashion institute. The Fashion Institute was what it was called actually. That just did a diploma in business and then they offered internships as well to complete your course. And I got to intern some really cool brands, got to work.
Are you going to name drop them? Or?
There was a few. There was Bondi Boost Hair, which is like a hair care company. There was Wink Models and then there was Marie Claire magazine as well. And all was so incredible and so like, just like an amazing experience to be able to like be even in those doors. And then kind of from there, Bondi Boost was my last internship. They offered me a full-time job basically from there. And then,
so cool.
Yeah, I was like in customer service and kind of through there found my love for social as well and things like that. And then, that was kind of
Wait, so when you were interning, like you weren't doing that for socials? That was for like just being what? In the fashion side, in the business side? Like, so I'm confused.
Marie Claire magazine was mainly the fashion. I was in the fashion closet.
Yeah.
Just like basically handling all the incoming items and returning the ones that were used, basically.
Yeah.
So really like I just like to call myself like the fashion closet bitch because that's kind of what I was.
Yeah.
Wink Models was like a mix of social and then also just replying to emails and like booking models for shoots and things like that. So it wasn't like exactly what I wanted to do. I think it was just like, okay, do I want to do talent management or not?
Mm-hmm.
And then Bondi Boost was a mix of social media and PR. So I'd write like little notes to all the PR send-outs and then also just helping with community management and on socials and things like that too.
Was this like paid interning or was
No.
Oh.
So I was like doing all these internships and then working like I think 2 other jobs and then also like studying at the same time. So
I feel like as well that's what you have to do to like get in the industry, but it's the same as like nursing and stuff like that. You're doing these placements, internship, let's call it the same thing right now, like slogging away.
Yeah.
And these big brands also have the budget to pay you.
Yeah.
And they're just like, nah, we're just gonna get this girl to come in and do everything. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Okay, go from there.
So then from Bondi Boost, I kind of got poached by a recruiter who was like...
You need to face the camera.
Sorry.
So we can see the face that you just made.
Sorry, guys. So from Bondi Boost, I kind of got poached by a recruiter, which was really cool, at a fashion brand called Charlie Holiday. It no longer exists. But I was, just like kind of, this was like my first, full-time role that I've kind of made by myself.
Yeah.
So I was across e-com, customer service, as well as social, which was a lot of things. And because I was so junior, I think they did take advantage of that a little bit.
Yeah. I mean, we were just talking about this before we started recording, but like there's seasons to everything. You're going to go through something and it's going to be such a fucking nightmare, but then you're so glad that you did that then rather than being further down and dealing with all the problems. And I think even I'm the type of person that I'm like, fuck, like deal with it later, but then it just like accumulates behind the like in the back of my brain and I'm like, oh my fucking god, like I need to deal with this now, put it to bed, and then you can move on from it.
Literally. So basically, was doing all those things, and then obviously because I was working on social, I was like, oh my god, this is like my favorite thing in the whole wide world. I live and breathe Instagram, and then like I think TikTok was just starting kind of around that time as well.
What is the timeline this? 2019?
2019, yeah.
Okay,
probably 2019, 2020.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I was at Charlie Holiday, loved it. I was actually the only girl based in the Sydney office. So like all of the other people in Sydney were all old white men. No shade, no hate.
Wait, but were they there, or you would like go in and no one was there?
No, I would go in and they were all there.
Oh, okay.
So like they were all old enough to be my dad.
Oh my gosh.
And it like wasn't uncomfortable, but it kind of was, because then all the like fashion designers and stuff, they were all based in Queensland.
Right.
So it was cool that I got to do some work trips up there and things like that. But I just felt really, I guess, weird about like all these old men telling me, a junior, what to do and things like that, and like me being the only girl in the office. And like there was this one guy who would leave his like coffee spoon after he stirred it on like the side of the sink and like let it like fester, and I was like, are you gonna like do this, or like why is this like just sitting there?
That is actually every guy ever. And you know what, they probably didn't really respect the role, especially in 2019. I feel like no one even knew what socials and all of the things were, so they're probably like, what is this girl doing in this like fake job? But why did you have to go in the office?
I think it was just that time. It was like before COVID and everything like that, so I'd obviously go in like 5 days a week and everything like that. And obviously then when COVID happened, we could all work from home, which was like my favorite thing in the whole wide world. Because I live so far. But yeah, then from there I then got an agency role, which was really fun, really amazing.
Talk us through like what, just because obviously I said before I barely know, what is actually agency work?
So at an agency, basically it'd be as if you're working across multiple different brands. So I was in the social media kind of space, so I'd be doing social media management across multiple brands at one time. Yeah.
So it's an agency that the brands pay to go with, and then the agency like puts you like with them type thing.
Basically.
Okay,
yeah. Loved it there. We got to work on such amazing projects and podcasts. Spotify was like one of the main clients there, which was incredible. I got to work with the Inspired.
Okay, seriously? Where is... You need to tell Spotify to put me up on the charts. Anyway,
hello, Spotify.
Spotify, if you're listening.
I got to work with the Inspired Unemployed when they had their podcast there. Just so many amazing projects. Got to work with like radio stations as well, and just kind of got into the groove, and I guess got to grow my love of social there. And then, yeah, just from there, one of my managers at the time, she already had her own agency on the side. And she was like, look, would love to bring you on board. Do you want to go freelance? And I hadn't really thought about it in that sort of way. I guess I just wanted to also see what that would be like. So then I ended up leaving this agency, joined, I guess, freelance, had a few different clients with her and then a few other ones on the side. And then I really undersold myself when I did go freelance. I was charging $50 an hour.
Oh my gosh.
Which is like, when you think about it now, I'm like, why would I like undersell myself and then I'd be overworking in order to meet the same income or more than what I had before. But yeah, I was working probably like maybe like 6 to 8 clients while I was freelancing.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is like actually insane. Like for me to be literally like burnt out slogging away.
Yeah, and I think for some context as well, because I think a lot of people listening would be like, oh, well, I earn like 30 to 40 an hour. Like, what are you saying? But like in content, it's like anywhere between like 70 to like 100 an hour. So like she's like just gone like half price basically.
Yes.
And that's why you were getting so many clients, because obviously as well, not saying you're not good, but you know what I mean? Like at that time, people were like, oh yeah, I'm going to take opportunity of this young girl, like take advantage of this is such an affordable rate, all of the things. But content is a whole different game to like your average job of like an hourly wage.
And when you think about $50 an hour, like sure, that sounds like a lot, but then also when you are freelance, you have to factor in, you're paying your own tax, you're paying your own super from that wage. So technically I would have been on that kind
like
of $30.
Yeah.
Which is insane. That's like a casual job, basically.
And no one ever realizes it's the same in like the industry of PT. If you're renting out a space with like a gym and you're paying rent to them, you're employed for yourself. So you've got to think about the super, you've got to think about the tax, and even just down to like doing all that extra work in the taxes and stuff when you wouldn't have to deal with that at that level. Like if you were just employee, like hands off, like they're sending my super and it just like it's already done for me and I just send it to my like H&R block because I don't need a proper business accountant and whatever, and like call it a day. But then you're walking away with like, I could get more to stand on Woolies checkout. Literally, what the fuck?
So that was like a crazy time. I learned a lot. Obviously, clients come and go. They have different expectations. Learning the importance of contracts during that time, and also realizing value, I think, at that time. Like, sure, like I was so junior when I did first start and everything like that, but realizing like it's not about, I guess, how junior I think I feel. Like, I think, you know, we kind of try to get as many clients for the stability of it all and like for the income, rather than being like, I'd rather have less clients but more income rather than more clients but less income. So that was the whole time. Obviously she then obviously had her own agency. She wanted to bring me on full time. I said, actually, I'm really happy being freelance. And then we just didn't end up working together again after that, which was interesting. She's a lovely person, and like I know she has like the best intentions and everything like that, but I just think that at that time I took it to heart that she just obviously wanted someone full time, and I didn't, I guess, give that to her. So I did feel really guilty afterwards, because like we had known each other previously at the company, and then obviously going freelance in a way basically for her, and then she wouldn't, I guess, let me stay on and continue freelance.
So wait, she wanted you to come into a full-time role?
Yes.
Right, okay.
And I was like, no, thank you.
I think once you dabble, you don't want to go back. Like for me, I'm like, I could never work for someone else at this point in time. So like, it's just like once you go there, you can't go back.
Exactly. But from there, worked with some really, really fun brands. A record label company just helping their artists with their socials. Got to work with Showpo on a freelance basis as well. And then just like helping a few other agencies and things like that in between, just for like a steady income. Got to work with Kmart on the show Space Invaders, and things like that. So it was just like an amazing time. I also started posting on LinkedIn during this time. TikTok was kind of growing and thriving so much, so I started a newsletter called TikTok Trending Tuesday, talking about all the trends on TikTok, so videos, sounds, pop culture references, all that sort of thing, just to help social media managers a little bit more. And then basically got a role at TikTok after that. So
they saw your LinkedIn post?
Yeah, so my manager at the time, she had been following me for a while, and then basically reached out and said, I've got this role, would you be interested? And I said, no, I'm freelancing, thank you so much. And she's like, okay, that's fine, how about we just have a coffee, and like would love to obviously get to know you a little bit better. went for the coffee. She basically sold me on the job, said like, you know, I'm looking for a unicorn. This job allows you to travel. You're at like a big tech company platform. TikTok's the biggest platform kind of thing. And I absolutely fell in love with her and her management style and the way that she was so excited about the role. I basically said, okay, let's take a little bit of a break from freelancing. I still had maybe 1 or 2 clients, but I wasn't kind of delving as deep into it. Worked at TikTok for about a year and like 6 or 7 months, and then basically got told that my whole team was being made redundant, which was quite a shock to the system, obviously, when they first told me. I tried so hard, like, I think during that time, not to take it so personally. Like, I was like sobbing in like a meeting room after.
Yeah, that would be me. Because the word redundant gives me like 50-plus-year-old man. Like, it does not give like I'm getting made redundant in my 20s. Like, that's crazy.
And I think that's such a like hard thing to think about, because like you think like it's such like a older like term. It's like when you retire, like you think of an older person.
That's what I mean, 50-plus man.
Yeah. So it's like when you get made redundant, like I'm 20 years old. I don't know what that really means. Yeah. So obviously like chatted to a few people. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh my God. So you didn't realize that your role had like
I kind of
finished
like
up.
Had a feeling like that's what it meant, because like obviously you hear the term being thrown around a little bit, but I didn't fully understand what the next steps were. After that, and obviously chatted to a few people, cried my little heart out for a few days, and they gave me a month basically to either find another role within the company or to basically receive a payout.
How did you feel? I want to hear the rest, but how did you feel in all of that? Were you like imposter syndrome 101, like how the hell am I even going to get any opportunities? Or did you feel a little bit like empowered by the fact that you had already had opportunities with like Kmart and Showpo and all of the things? Where were you at?
I think it started as imposter syndrome. I was like, oh my God, like what if I can't find another role that's going to be paying me this much? What if like, you know, what if this is a reflection of me and my work? Obviously it wasn't at the time. It was just business changes and things like that. And I think it was just like trying not to take a lot of those things personally on board. Like it's not a reflection of me and my quality of work. It's just the business. And kind of after I had my little cry, I kind of realized, I'm like, okay, well, if this is the case, I'll try to find another role within the company because I love working here. If that doesn't happen, I get a sweet payout and then can find another role that's better suited and better aligned. And maybe this is kind of the kick up the bum that I need to delve back into freelancing. Yeah.
When you started at TikTok and you were getting the opportunity with travel and stuff like all of the things, were you single at the time?
Yes.
So you had nothing holding you back?
No.
Because I feel like if you're in your relationship that you're in now and stuff, you'd be like, would you question if you wanted to travel? I know you've been doing some travel now, but would you question if you had to do like a hybrid role like over in a different state or whatever? Or would you just send it?
I think if it was a hybrid role in a different state, it would be a conversation with me and my partner. But I think he's so supportive, like he wouldn't really care that much.
I definitely don't think he's holding you back. I just mean like, I would be like, oh fuck, like do I want to go away from my partner for like half the week or even like, you know what I mean? It's like career, partnership, like, you know what I mean?
I think we're so stable in our relationship that he would be like, yeah, go do what you need to do. And I kind of have that same aspect. Like if he needed to go away for work on a job or whatever, I'd be like, yeah, go. Obviously you miss each other, but I think he knows how important I view my career and everything like that. So I don't see it as like choosing one or the other. I think we kind of make it work.
I love that. Continue with what you were saying.
I don't even remember what I was saying.
With okay, I'm going to go freelance.
Okay, yes. So then basically decided I was going to go freelance and kind of just wanted to see what that world would look like. Kind of picked up a few conversations with my freelance clients that I had before, just letting them know I now have capacity to take on work if they were open to it. If not, all good. I started also receiving some lovely leads on LinkedIn as well.
Did you keep up the Tuesday TikTok trends even while you're working?
Yes.
Okay, that's cool.
Yes. So that was kind of like a good way for me to kind of keep up that image and like obviously help people in that sort of sense as well. During that time, like hitting, I think it was like 2K subscribers for that newsletter as well, which doesn't seem like a lot.
No,
but
I feel like that's cool. I mean, I don't use LinkedIn, but I feel like that sounds like a lot.
Yeah, so that was really cool as well. And then obviously that newsletter helped me get more, I guess, business once I went freelance and things like that. Like people were reaching out asking for advice and everything. So I just kind of went from there and pitched myself to a few different brands and started working with them pretty consistently, and yeah, still freelancing now, and so I guess what we're doing.
I feel like that goes to show that if you stay consistent with doing stuff and you just put yourself out there, even if it feels cringe, even if it feels like no one's watching, like someone is watching, like that manager was literally watching you and you had no idea, like who knows how long she was even like looking at your stuff for.
Exactly.
And then that opportunity just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, what does the future kind of look like from here?
So I'm hoping to, I guess, grow the business. This is kind of what this year for me is really about. I've reached out to like a graphic designer to kind of formalize branding and logos and things like that. I really just want to grow it so much this year. It's not so much about getting the most clients or anything like that. I think I'm still in like the stage where I just want to kind of start steady and then kind of grow from there. I don't want to rush into things or be like, oh my god, I'm making 6 figures straight away, because then where are you meant to go from there? But yeah, I'm really, really excited about this year, and like obviously content creation is like my favorite thing in the whole wide world, so I just want to like launch the business hopefully like within the next 2 months. Fingers crossed, and then yeah, we'll see what happens.
Well, obviously your word of the year is clearly growth.
Yes.
Like, I actually think I made mine growth, so that is weird.
Yeah.
Did I? I don't know. I did tell the podcast, but I actually can't remember now, which is embarrassing. Clearly I haven't been working on my goals. But how do you deal with being able to balance it all? How are you growing the business, but also like having a bit of a life on the side, also keeping up with like, I heard you at Pilates the other day.
Yes.
How are you keeping up with everything?
I think time blocking and time management is like kind of what I'm really trying to do this year. I kind of suck at it, to be honest. Like I actually don't know how I'm doing it all, but I definitely obviously do a lot of stuff on the weekend. So I kind of try to have
like work stuff.
Yeah.
Okay, so work's flowing into the weekend right
yes.
now. Yeah.
Just like mainly like growing the business, like doing my tax stuff, like that takes a big chunk of my brain to like kind of wrap my head around. Like writing contracts and doing all like the boring stuff is kind of like what I'm doing on the weekend, and then obviously through the week is more client-based stuff.
Yeah.
But then I always try to make sure Sundays I'm not working at all. I can like fully reset, rest, and do all those things. And yeah, I think it's just like obviously making time. Like I try not to work after like 9 p.m. of a night, which sounds so late. It sounds so late.
I'm laughing because I'm like, girl, 9 p.m. Get this girl some boundaries. But also, I think the duality of that is like what it takes to grow your business, and like you're in that growth season. So you're at the start. I am breaking up the episode to talk about how 50% of you are not subscribed to the podcast. If you've been getting any kind of value, tips, tricks, implementing anything, I would love if you could follow along. It really helps me help you bring on bigger guests and just create more content around everything you're needing to build your dream life. So if you haven't already, take a second, follow along on whatever platform you're listening to, and let's get back to the podcast. I feel like with business, everyone either goes hardcore. There's some people I see online and they're like, I'm waking up at 4 a.m. and I'm going to bed at 9 p.m. and grind, and I like hate that. Yeah. But then there's also like seasons for that as well. And I know like right now I'm like pulling a face at 9 p.m. but I also know that there's like seasons to it.
For
but
sure.
Like how hardcore is it? Like how, you're not doing the 4 a.m. to 9 p.m. are you?
No, I did wake up at 6 a.m. which is reasonable today.
Yeah.
I was kind of awake a bit earlier because obviously Scott goes to work, my partner, at early tradie life.
Luke can't relate. He's snoozing his alarm 100 times, and I'm like, get the fuck out of this
no,
place.
No, I'm awake. So I hear Scott's alarm first.
Yeah, before he does?
Yeah.
Fucking men.
And like, I'm like, hello, are you awake? Like, and then he's the same, like snoozing it 20 times, has 5 alarms set.
Yes.
Yeah.
Get out of here. Shut the fuck up. That's why I have this space now. Seriously, because I'm like, I need to get away from you sometimes.
Yeah.
Keep going.
So fair. But yeah, I think it's just also like blocking that time. So like before I actually start work at 9 p.m, I kind of plan out my day, making sure like
9 a.m.
Yes, is when I start.
You said 9 p.m.
Oh my god!
I was like, she's time blocking at the end of the day.
Okay, in the morning before I start work at 9 a.m.
Yeah.
I try to time block my day, make sure I have like a to-do list and everything sorted, just to like have that like, you know, mental clarity. It's not like, oh my god, I'm rushing around trying to like do all these to-dos as they're popping into my brain.
Are you like a physical planner or like a Google Calendar?
Google Calendar? That's color coordinated.
Okay.
Color coordinated.
You'd hate me.
No?
I'll think of something. No, okay, I love a physical, like a written planner, but I also am like that type of person. This girl cannot.
Sorry.
We said phones on Do Not Disturb.
No, it's work. Okay.
So this is the season of life that she's in at the moment. have a like physical planner, which I love, but she's A3. Which is fucking massive. Huge. So I don't take her anywhere because she just has to sit on my desk. Yeah. So I Google Calendar, and if things pop up in my brain, I will like put them into my phone, but I'm terrible. And then I'll go onto my laptop and they're all blue and they're all like hour blocks when they're like a 5-minute task. And I'm like, ugh.
So you can actually set it as a task.
Yeah, like the tick box one.
Yeah.
But I'm like too unable to do that on my phone. I'm like literally, I'll put it in like 5 a.m. I'm like, what's wrong with me? Like, you know what I mean? I accidentally clicked the wrong spot. Mine's a hot mess, so you would hate to see my calendar.
We can fix that as well. But yeah, I think it's like really ensuring that you're hitting all those targets. So one of the clients I kind of have at the moment is kind of like similar to a full-time job. They want me to be available the 9 to 5 hours working for them.
I was going to ask you that. If you are sticking to 9 to 5 because of them, or if you just feel like you work better that way.
Yeah. I tend to work better from like 7 to 3.
Yeah.
Technically. I would love to like have that.
Yeah.
But I think like, kind of after 3 p.m. I'm like, don't talk to me. Like I'm like off with the fairies. But yeah, so one of my clients, they kind of want me that 9 to 5 time slot, and then kind of before that time and then after that time is when I do all the rest of like my freelance stuff.
Yeah.
So working on other clients and just contracts and
how do they dictate that they need you for that 9 to 5 though? Because what I've always thought is like, as long as you get the content to them, like you've got it to them, like why does it need to be in that time? Is it just for like communication?
I think it's mainly communication, and like because they have a few different, I guess, deliverables that they want me to be across, it kind of makes sense. Like they're like, okay, this is like what you're doing. And I think it's just like, obviously when they're available, when I'm available, and it's just, it makes things a lot easier. So it's not like I'm replying to something at 9 p.m. at night that needed to be posted the very next morning. So it just kind of gives us like open communication line, and obviously helps them like have the boundaries with me. So I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna like talk to you outside of business hours because this is what I've set out for you. And I think that's really important as well, to have those boundaries in place with clients. Like, I mean, sure, you can message or email them after hours, but I love being able to schedule messages or schedule emails to go out earlier or the next day. But yeah, I think it's a great way to not burn yourself out that way as well.
I was going to say, how are you dealing with burnout in a growth season though? Because I think burnout is one of those things where you can say like, I'm so burnt out, but you don't know what burnout is until it like actually fucking hits you like a bus. And it will be like one day you wake up and you're like, oh, I'm fine, maybe it wasn't burnout, but then you're like actually struggling, and from a creative space as well. For me, what I was going to say on the early morning piece is like, I thrive in the morning, and I'm definitely more creative in the morning, but if I'm like dead on the floor with everything else, I have no creativity left in me.
Yeah, I think for sure, like I have experienced so much burnout before. I'm kind of a little bit in that now, just because I am in that growth stage. But I think, you know, setting that time aside for you to relax and to, I guess, reset. Always having a holiday booked also helps.
Do you have something booked?
We're going to Bali in May.
Oh wait, I didn't know about that. Yeah.
Always helps too, but I think, you know, just setting those clear boundaries. Like I have learned when I'm burnt out, like I will literally not want to wake up early. I will not want to. I'll literally be like a slug to the world. I have no brain cells like in me. And I think, you know, obviously that can be very reflective in my work as well. So I think realizing the early signs, like how am I feeling, having those check-ins with myself on like those moments, like is there anything that needs to be urgently done? Okay, great, I'll do that. Anything else can be pushed aside for me to kind of reset as well.
And you were talking before about how you have like a mentor in the space.
Yes.
What do you kind of like, because I'm someone that's like, I have a business consultant, I've had like different obviously coaches and all of the things before. What do you look for when you're looking for someone in mentorship? Are you in the woo-woo side of things, or are you like, what is woo-woo girl?
I'm a mix of both. Okay. So I love a little bit of woo-woo, a little bit of like a psychic telling me your business is gonna grow. Like,
wait, have you been to a psychic?
Not recently, but like maybe 2 years ago.
I want to go to one.
Yeah.
I heard about Scott's mum's whole psychic thing. I want to go, and Luke doesn't believe in it.
Scott, I think, is similar, like iffy about it. I'm like,
so honestly, we need to truck these boys in the bin because they are being so anti-woo-woo.
Yeah.
Oh my god, tell me your experience.
So about 2 years ago, I saw a psychic. So she was also a psychic / like a palm reader. She gave me a lot of insight. I had just gone through like maybe it was 3 years ago. I just gone through a breakup at the time as well, and kind of didn't really know what I wanted. The psychic told me basically the situation like to a T, what had happened, and then also told me that I'd meet someone, insert my lovely partner, who was like an earth sign, really grounded, really down to earth, which he is, which I love. And then, basically explained business to me. I said, I'm starting this new role. This was like when I was starting at TikTok. She's like, you're in two minds and like there's two paths in front of you. I think she's like, if you take this role, be cautious that like things and contracts, like make sure you're reading them before they're set in stone. And I feel like that advice is so valid now, especially like with the redundancy situation as well. And then she's like, you've always landed on your feet. So things that happen to you, know that it's going to be okay.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And I feel like that's so true now. She didn't really predict anything per se, but I think it was just like really, really good advice. And yeah, I mean, she, I guess, kind of predicted Scott.
How did you find her?
My mum actually saw her.
Oh, okay.
So she's like this beautiful older lady. My mum saw her when she was like kind of my age as well. And then, it was a really great experience. I do want to see Scott's mum's psychic though that she saw.
Yeah, I like will walk past them in like Parkley Market. And I'm like, I need to find like a real one, not like a Parkley Market one that's going to probably rip me off. But I don't know anyone like personally, like outside of like that, who's like gone. And then my family is very much like, they just look you up on socials. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Like saying that they
I
like...
don't think that they do. Because like this lady, she didn't ask my last name or anything like that. She was just so... Like also like she's looking at my palms. Like she's like telling me like, you're going to have 2 kids, possibly 3, like all this sort of stuff. Like 2 girls, 1 boy, most likely. I'm like, okay, very specific. Yeah. But we will see. But I'm like, you can't make that stuff up. Like, I mean, you can, but like...
Yeah, that's like, it's too... I truly do think people like have a gift.
Yeah.
And this is what like the hardest thing of like when your family or like people that surround you, like you surround yourself with like against all of the things and don't agree with you, because you're like, where are my people? And lately I've been very much talking about how like I'm a bit of like a Sydney hater, or at least this side of Sydney hater. Are you?
I'm getting kind of sick of Sydney too.
Yes, like okay, if we lived in Bondi, maybe we would have a different experience. Like yes, everyone is very much like, there's a type of person in Bondi, but in the same breath, like all the events are in Bondi. How can we be depressed if we're walking along the beach every single day? They have Sunday scrolls.
Who doesn't love a Sunday scroll?
Which you still haven't gone to.
No, I told Scott that we need to go.
But like, I'm so done with Sydney. I feel like everyone in Sydney, and like, sorry if you're listening to this, but like maybe you agree with us, so closed off, not willing to like make friends, go in, make opportunities for themselves, like be in the path, and then we'll complain about lack of opportunities and lack of friendships.
Yeah.
And I see it very often with like, I run those community walks and stuff, and then people will be like, oh my gosh, like I don't want to like come, and like I just feel really awkward. I'm like, but you also complain about having no friends.
Yeah.
Like love you, but like that's why you have no friends. You need to come in and just be so open and be like willing to do whatever. And I think that's very much the same with you in the space of like, you had to just go to random brands basically and just be like, were you doing outreach?
Yes.
There you go.
A lot of it though that I did have was just like through either like referrals or people finding me on LinkedIn and my newsletter. So I probably only outreach to like maybe like 1 or 2 brands.
That's
so
cool.
Yeah,
because like if you don't know, outreach is like just reaching out to the brands and things. But I think even when I started, when I worked at Virgin, it was like cold calling, like, which is outreach, and it's like I don't want to do that. Yeah. Even now I don't do that, but a lot of like coaching advice and stuff will be like reach out to people and like constantly be in their DMs and stuff. And I think even people wanting like PR and stuff, like UGC creators are always reaching out to brands and like just spamming their inbox. And I'm like,
copy paste.
But also, can you be different? Can you like go into the city and like knock on their fucking door and like actually present yourself? Like, I don't know if you'd be turned away, but like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Be different. No one wants your copy and paste DM.
One thing that I've seen in the social space that I think is really fun is people that apply for jobs and they don't just send in a standard resume. They send in like a video, which you can show your personality, you can show your editing skills or whatever it may be. Or one that I saw that was really cool was actually someone sending like a gift to like this PR agency. So they sent like their resume basically, I think, on a cake or something like that.
Oh my gosh.
Which was like,
I did not see this.
Yeah, it was like insane. And I think people are getting so creative, like obviously now being in the like the job market that we're in, which is really volatile with like obviously roles and things like that. So I think, you know, people are trying to get more creative on how they can secure those roles, showcase like they're the best candidate and things like that. So I think, yeah, it's such a cool space, I think, in social and marketing to be in, to kind of be a little bit outside of the box.
And I think as well, you can tell who is creative and who's just copying everyone else and claiming to be creative. Just it makes me think of like the author Mimi Bailey applying for with the cardboard, and then everyone was doing that for other brands that were hiring. Do something different, otherwise it's just so boring. I'm so sick of like going on my feed and seeing the same like type of brands doing the exact same videos. Boring. What are you liking that's trending at the moment outside of that? Because I feel like that was more job based, but is there anything that you think like you're predicting trend wise, or something you're really liking at the moment?
I think predicting wise, I think a lot of like relationship and friendship content is going to be what makes the space, especially for brands. I think they're going to look at, you know, friendship groups or bestie content and things like that, because then you're also tapping into two different audiences, but then also bringing them together and making it like more of a collaboration, I think, is really fun and important. Like there's these beautiful girls that I follow, Talia and Caitlin, and they share their finances while they're living in New York. And yes. Yeah, and they're best friends. And I think like, you know, having and like seeing their content when they're together and apart, like it kind of like I think makes you fall in love with them so much more. It's kind of like when you're watching a show and you resonate with like one of the characters in there. I think that's what is going to make content flourish so much more moving into like the next few years and things like that. Like you resonate with one or the other, you know, or you have like sisters as well and things like that. Like I think that's what's going to be a big trend moving forward, is just kind of tapping into more people, but friendship group wise.
What I see the side of that, because like I think of like the Mesher twins, for example, but they're like twins, so they're like bound to be together, right? But then I feel like even just thinking of podcasts, right, how many guests or like owned podcasts have you seen that have like gone in the bin because the friendship breaks up 5 seconds later? So like how would that work in the future space, you know what I mean?
I think it's really interesting because like obviously you want to have a solid friendship and don't want to make it all about these like work opportunities and things like that. So I think having that solid foundation is really important. But if you guys do separate for whatever reason, I think, you know, that just kind of adds to like people watching more, which will like increase your numbers. Like people like, oh my god, like these two people. I think there was like Izzy Armitage.
And Sam.
That had that situation.
We're so chronically online.
Had that situation recently, and I think, you know, you kind of then want to watch them more to like be like, oh my god, are they going to post about the tea? Like you comment on their post saying like, oh my god, why isn't this person in your like content anymore? And that's what kind of like obviously drives engagement, which you want as a influencer or a brand. But then I think also, you know, makes people pick a side. And I think people are very like black and white sometimes, so they're not going to be like supporting one person or the other. They are going to be supporting one person or the other. So I think it's really interesting to see how, like, if friendship breakups do happen, like what, I guess, the audience speculates happening.
Outside of that, have you seen any, like, businesses or brands doing anything cool or different that you're like, this is going to blow up?
Yes. So recently, Pony Cosmetics, they did like a whole like rebrand. They're like a makeup brand that's in Woolworths. They worked with a PR agency and basically sent out these little like gift baskets to all these like influencers, like normal people as well, business owners. Like it wasn't just like you see PR from influencers, like they were sending it out to so many people. It was across like my like page for so long, people just like posting about it, and it was like a gift basket with like fruit and like pastries in it, as well as like the cosmetics. It was like, I think the whole range of cosmetics.
Obviously I'm living under a rock, so I've never heard of this, and
I'll show you after.
And I have not seen it in Woolies either. What the hell?
But I think they have such beautiful branding, a beautiful voice as well. Like they have really targeted like their audience so well, and I think being able to have that wide reach of send-outs that they had as well really helped them solidify, you know, that they are kind of accessible to everyone. And I think that's one, I guess, campaign that I've really liked at the moment.
I think as well Brittany Saunders, like Fake the Label, does that really well. Like the retreat with people that literally just spend money on her brand, not influencers, not anyone in particular, and that makes people want to come back and spend more money and buy more clothes and all of the things.
I feel like every marketing girly also references like Road Beauty by Hailey Bieber as like the standard for like, they do beautiful branding, beautiful like, I guess, campaigns as well. And then obviously Hailey being the face of it, I think just adds that extra layer of like, wow, this is like an amazing product. Obviously they just launched in Australia as well, which there was obviously some speculation about the type of people that were invited to that Road launch where Hailey was, just with like diversity and things like that, which is like another really big thing that in the industry.
I can't believe in 2026, because I even saw someone the other day with their event did it, that there's not more diversity in the campaigns. And I even think about it, just this is so like not at the same level at all, but even just with like the community walks or whatever, like one of the times we posted it was like all just white girls, and I was like, I promise everyone was invited. It just makes it look bad. So why are brands doing that? Why aren't brands doing different?
I think it's really hard to do different and do it well. Like, you don't want to just have like one or two diverse faces in there. I think like it's really important to ensure all voices are being amplified. And I think also like a lot of the girls that did get invited to this Road event, like they all had massive followings and they built that up. And I think that's what they wanted. They wanted that like kind of mass coverage, whereas I feel like a lot of other creators that they could have invited wouldn't have the same scale as these creators. And they've also, I feel like a lot of the creators have been around for a little bit as well, and they've got those relationships. They know the PR girls who like work behind these brands and things like that. And I think also in Australia, like you're so accustomed to kind of seeing the same people. Like, you know, you have your blonde hair, blue-eyed creators and things like that, and you think, yes, that's Australia, but it's not. Like, Australia is such a beautiful multicultural place, and I think, you know, when you're so used to seeing the same people or the same people that look similar to you, that's what you're going to be leaning towards in your content. And like, I feel like it's a bit biased in that sort of way, but I feel like not a lot of people want to challenge their perspectives or follow people that are so different from them.
And I think as well, Hailey could probably just hide behind the fact that she's not from here.
I don't know if she had any say in it, but I don't know.
Us talking like we've spoken directly to Miss Hailey Bieber herself. Okay, so if someone's like wanting to get into the space, where should they start? What are the first steps of even like content or working for someone? You know what I mean? Whether it's like being UGC content on their own or working for someone.
I think the first thing, interning is so important.
For free?
I mean,
you can say yes.
I think it's a good way to get your foot in the door and to kind of be able to try lots of different things. So obviously I was at a magazine, I was at a talent agency, then I was at a like hair care company in the social space. So I think like trying to find out what in marketing, because marketing is so broad, like what I guess part you are most interested in, like is it the PR, is it, you know, coming up with social, is it, you know, all of the above, like kind of narrowing it down or in whatever way is really important. So I would recommend interning to kind of get that experience, getting that knowledge as well, and kind of seeing the BTS of a brand in that aspect. But then from there I would also like just reach out to people, like apply for like, there's obviously grad roles, there's a lot of amazing like people that do intern and do get roles from there, and then there's also a lot of like really beautiful like junior positions that a lot of brands would offer people as well. So like I'm pretty sure like TikTok does have an internship program, I think Benefit does as well, and things like that. So I think, you know, just any kind of foot in the door is really important. And then from there, like, you know, getting good references, getting your experience up, whether that's like if you want to be in the social space, like are you then, you know, researching brands and then like trying to edit content and like trying to figure that out, like having the skills to help you in the long run. Like, are you really good at like script writing or caption writing and things like that? Building up those skills I think is really important depending on what space you want to be in.
And in this space, is it important to have a personal brand going in, or like maybe even a portfolio, or like what would you kind of recommend?
A lot of brands now are asking for portfolios, especially in a social role. And if you don't have, I guess, brands that you previously worked on, I would definitely put forward any sort of content that you've worked on. So like when I was studying, we had to create like a brand ourselves and kind of build
like
it
a
out.
case study.
Yeah, build it out from there. It's like, okay, this is my brand, this is what I do on socials, XYZ, and I think that's a really great starting point to kind of showcase, like, okay, this is the content that I can do. Obviously, when you create your portfolio, having those, like, you know, references of, like, or showcases of your work that you can just do in your own time. Like, it's not like you have to make it just for your portfolio. I think, like, if you wanted to do UGC as well, it's a great way to kind of delve into that space too. And then having a really solid, sorry, what was the second part? So portfolio
or personal brand. So like having your own TikTok and having like all of that.
I think then portfolio is probably like my main thing, and then personal brand is kind of what people then recognize you for. I do think having a personal brand is really important. That's kind of like what you'd then be known for. So obviously with me, LinkedIn and starting my newsletter, like people still bring it up to this day. I think, you know, if it's you reporting on like stats that you've like done at a brand that you're working on, or like even just like photos or like updates and things like that is really beneficial, especially on LinkedIn. Like people love a good photo. But yeah, I think, you know, kind of putting yourself out there, connecting with people, like grabbing them for a coffee. I think a really great way is like not positioning it as like, hey, I'm really like junior, would love to grab a coffee with you because you're knowledgeable. I think, you know, you need to go in there, provide them with a benefit as well. One of my favorite ways to do that is like, hi, like I'm Lily, like this is what I do, would love the opportunity to grow and learn from you. Let's grab a coffee, or whatever it may be. I think, you know, especially like if you do want to work at these big companies, having that value exchange is really important. So obviously my value is I know TikTok trends inside and out, but obviously it could be different things to different people.
And it always feels really fucking scary, but like also what's the worst that happens? They say no.
Yeah,
you
and
know
I think
what I mean?
like there's a saying like, you know, how many no's would you be so happy? Like what is it? Imagine how happy you would be for getting every no, like, or no. Whoa. If only you knew how many no's you would get before you got your yes, you'd be happy to receive every single no, kind of thing.
And even like having those no's, you could land such a big yes, like bigger than what the no's were, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, walk me through your next steps. Where to from here?
I guess we're still growing. So I think for me, next steps is just formalizing everything for my business, basically launching, I think, is like the main thing. Obviously have all the branding stuff sorted. So launching across Instagram, website, all that sort of stuff is like really the next steps for me. And then just having consistent income and not working on the weekends would be nice.
And then from there, getting staff, or are you wanting like an admin? Are you wanting another agency person? Like what is the vibes?
I think for now, I'd love to have it just as me. But then who knows, like maybe within the next year or so, having kind of like another me that has a little bit more of that admin side, because I also hate admin. Yeah. So yeah, I would love that kind of side.
You'll need to find like a unicorn. How she found you, you're going to need to find
need to clone
like
myself.
Yeah, if only. Okay, well, thanks for coming on, Queen. Tell everyone where they can find you.
So you can find me on LinkedIn, Instagram, TikTok.
It's just your name, the handles, all of it?
It is Lilly, so Lilly, and then a full stop, and then Moussa, which is Moussa.
I'll put it down below.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
And that is a wrap on another episode of Doing It Anyway. If you enjoyed today's episode, I would love for you to rate it 5 stars, share it with your friends, share it on your stories. And if you have any feedback, I would love to hear it. Please shoot me a DM on Instagram. All my links are below. See you in the next episode.